Elements with a new half-back partnership. Kiwi Test star Tia Rapati returns to number 6 after injury, and ex-Oldham centre Tommy Martin taking over the scrum half role. It's his first time, it's a gamble, but there's a very big pack in front of them. And Warrington with plenty of scoring potential in that back line. Penny, Davis, Myler. But coach Brian Johnson forced to reshuffle his pack this morning. Gary Tees and Paul Derbyshire come in the front row for the injured Chambers. Thursfield and Hodkinson and Phillips are drafted onto the substitutes bench. And Craig Mackey there, the skipper, with Warrington in strange looking colours for a rugby league side of green and yellow in vertical stripes. Kelly Shelford, the man that coach Mike McLennan said to me this week was the key man. That's him there. Kelly Shelford, Elliott and Gary Tees and Roland Phillips. He's been injured for quite some time. Craig Teitzel, the big Australian prop forward, and Jonathan Davis, the prolific point scorer, the man who's really inspired this Warrington side to the top of the First Division this season. But St Helens, Cooper, Vivers, Gannett's drafted in this morning for Jonathan Neal, and a big, powerful pack. Sonny Nicol, none stronger in the second row, and Georgie Mann. Always a very powerful force at home here, especially in football. And I have Joe Lydon alongside me in the commentary box. A very evenly balanced game, Joe.
I think so. This has been, the draw was made, this is going to be the game of the round. Both teams can play attractive football when allowed to do so. Warrington have been the form team so far.
Two overseas skippers, Greg Mackey on the left there from Australia and Illawarra for Warrington, and from Auckland and New Zealand, Shane Cooper. Both 32 years of age and both with plenty of experience. And former Bradford Northern half-back, Russell Smith, one of the youngest referees in the game at 29 years of age, but already recognised as one of the leading referees. Officiated in the recent Australia-New Zealand tests in the summer, and a man who's rocketed to the top in the past couple of seasons. A standard photograph for the album of the little girl and the mascot. And referee Russell Smith just having a word with his touch judges. They really do work as a team, and I think Joe should look out possibly for one or two decisions from this man this afternoon. The referees have been instructed this week to have no lying on it to play the ball, and to have to play the ball correctly.
Yeah, it's all an attempt to make the game that little bit faster. It's good for viewing and it's good for the players as well to get on with the game.
So, Jonathan Davis to kick off. This Welshman celebrating 5 years in rugby league next month. And few can match the Welshman's feats in that short time. 100 tries and already 100 points this season. The Dame's top point scorer. No wonder Warrington stretched their bank account with his signing in August. And Vivers. Number 3 from St Helens, and Bernard Dwyer to Sonny Nicol. I think St Helens will use this very big, powerful pack. Just Jonathan Neal missing from this pack that won the Premiership final last May. Chris Joint there had a good game in the Test series. Andy Dannett, signed from Hull early this season, number 8. Came in this morning for Jonathan Neal, who's gone down with a stomach bug. Mr. Smith instructing the two packs to get well away. He wants a gap. Now he'll have the ball in. Mackey to Ellis. Ellis. Good tackle by Lachlan. Both sides capable of good open rugby, even with this very strong blustery wind. Oh, Lachlan, number 11. And Mackey, the Australian, and Shelford. These are the two lads who make play in midfield. Kelly Shelford moves forward. A Kiwi Teitzel and this man, number 9 there, Paul Derbyshire, key men up front. Teitzel, number 10, coming out there in the number 10 jersey. Cooper. St Helens under pressure. Good tackling here by Warrington. Gallant to Bernard Dwyer. Bernard Dwyer, ex-amateur player here locally in St Helens. And George Mann with the fumble. Nervous times, Joe.
Yes, Warrington have put the pressure on St Helens early on, and on 2 occasions they've had a knock-on. Warrington will be pleased with the start they've made.
Not too much in the pack. Wait. And over to Richard Duckenfee down there on the bench.
Yes, Ray, as you were saying, it's a strong northwesterly wind blowing down the pitch, blowing into the faces of the St Helens players. So in that sense, Warrington ought to have the advantage in this first half, and maybe we ought to be looking for Jonathan Davies' kicking game as well, with the wind at his back.
And it's Warrington now on the attack, driving in Paul Cullen. Derbyshire to Mackey to Davies, looking to step off that right foot there. And a penalty against St Helens for interference at the play of the ball.
Well, you mentioned, Ray, earlier on that the referee was going to be strict at the play of the ball area. That's exactly what he's done early on, giving a penalty to Warrington for, as you say, holding down.
So, Jonathan Davies and George Mann there, the man who held Davies down at the play of the ball. Davies been in terrific form this season, really inspired performances for Warrington and been instrumental in taking them to the top of Division 1. Davies then. A comparatively straightforward kick for him, and it is 2 points already then for Warrington. Resounding boos from the St Helens crowd against referee Mr Smith, but it doesn't alter the scoreline. St Helens 0, Warrington 2, just 4 minutes gone. Good early start for Warrington, Joe.
Yeah, they put the pressure on. I don't think St Helens have been in the Warrington half yet, apart from this kick-off. And with that pressure that they sustained, managed to get 2 points, which is exactly the start that Warrington would have wanted.
Warrington using the forwards here now. Teitzel. And Greg Mackey again, the skipper, always at first receiver, bringing Tees through, former Barrow favourites, number 8, Gary Tees. And Mackey, the number of times the ball flows through this man's hands, to Kevin Ellis, out to Davies, looking to use Davies' pace, just can't get through, good ankle tap there by Phil Beavers. Well, I think Beavers, well, I thought it was a little harsh on Beavers coming after the tackle, but Mr Smith says that there was a punch thrown there, Joe.
I think it was a little harsh. Jonathan Davies made the half break, just had his ankles tapped, and then Beavers came in really to secure the tackle to make sure that Jonathan Davies didn't carry on. A little bit harsh.
Davies kicked a crosswind, the wind I don't think really helping either side. It's blowing straight across from the main stand here at Knowsley Road into the commentary box here, but Warrington still on this attack. Tees. The switch to Shelford. And Rob Myler looking for the way through, well met.
He was well met. Tira Party read that move very well, stayed his ground, and when it came to it, put an excellent tackle in.
Warrington opened up well. Mackey, switch again, using this ball well on this side. Elliott, ex-Kells amateur player from up there in Cumbria, formerly a half-back, the fifth tackle. And a knock-on from Greg Mackey. I think Greg Mackey there, number 7, really took his eye off the ball as he was trying to execute the kick.
That's right, he was doing, you know what to do with the ball. While he was making his mind up, took his eye off it, ball went to ground, turnover, St Helens possession.
And St Helens had very little possession so far. The 23rd season of this Regal Trophy competition. Always keenly contested. And the 35,000 prize money, certainly invaluable in these harsh economic times. Lee Penny. And the first time, Joe, we've seen St Helens in this 20-metre area.
That's right, but once again, Warrington have the ball. They had to rely on the kick St Helens to get the territorial advantage there. Warrington now bring it away with Mark Foster.
The referee, Mr. Smith, shouting to the players to get off at the tackle very, very quickly. David Elliott. Tees again. In the thick of things, this prop forward brought in this morning. Gary Chambers, injured with a dead leg. Becky. Oh, the good dummy. And a superb sidestep. He's got Kelly Shelford inside him. Now then, can Kelly Shelford make the line? Oh, he goes! Try for Kelly Shelford! Coach Mike McLennan this week said to me, he felt this Kiwi was the danger man. We both felt he'd put an extra yard of pace on, and he certainly showed it there. The break from Mackey, the sidestep, and the pass. Kelly Shelford, the first try of the afternoon.
I think you can put this down to Greg Mackey's magic. Splits the defence straight through the middle, nice sidestep. And on his, as he goes through on his shoulder, Kelly Shelford on the inside, straight run into the post. That's an excellent try to start off the game.
And back for the Jonathan Davis goal. Meat and drink to a goal kicker of this man's quality. So already just 9 minutes gone, and Warrington already comfortably leading 8-0.
Yeah, as you see, it spots the gap. There's a huge gap down the middle. The sidestep to go around the half-back. Looks inside. There's Kelly Shelford. Clear run in. He's delighted with that. Great try.
Just the place where a loose forward should be. The half-back makes the break. Good support work, and Kelly Shelford has the pace to get to the line. There was plenty of talk before kick-off, Joe, as to whether the reshuffling in this Warrington pack would actually give it a weakness, but it doesn't seem so in these early stages.
It doesn't. Maybe there's a little bit more speed being brought in with Derbyshire going at hooker. He's not really used to the position, but his speed is an asset.
St Helens forward there, Sonny Nicholl moving in. Old Derbyshire, not unaccustomed to the hooking role. He has been there in the Alliance League, David Elliott. Jonathan Davis looking to establish another position deep down in this St Helens half. Picked up well by David Lyon. Sensibly holds on to the ball. And a penalty against Warrington for the use of knees in the tackle. Looks as if Greg Mackey, the skipper there, put the knee in. Dwyer to George Mann. Mann, this Kiwi prop, in his sparkling form this season. And St Helens need these big men here like Andy Dannett. And Mr Smith having a word with Paul Derbyshire for a high tackle, I think, Joe.
Yeah, a little bit over anxious to get that tackle in here, but does swing an arm in. It was a good tackle with a bit of leader.
Dannett. Mr Smith again shouted to the players for a quick play the ball. George Mann, plenty of pace in this St Helens pack with the likes of number 10 there, George Mann. Tommy Martin on the switch with Tia Rapati to Sonny Nicol. Manages to get the ball away, but Rapati no better placed. Bernard Dwyer, back to Nicol. Rapati. Real pressure for the first time in this match now from St Helens. Cooper, Loughlin. Well held. Martin. Well picked up by Greg Mackey. Good skipper's example there from number 7. He's taken a bad knock though, Joe.
Yeah, it was the last tackle. I thought the kick would be on and covered across the back while going down for the ball very bravely. I think it takes a knee to the kidney area, or a kick actually.
Yes, it's a nasty kick right in the small of the back there, in that kidney area. The little man there, only 5'8", from Illawarra in Australia. Saw good service with Hull as well. And his opposite number there, Tommy Martin. And there we see it. It's the little chip through, and Martin following up. And Greg Mackey obviously in pain. And warming up on the touchline, Colin Hodkinson. But I'm sure coach Brian Johnson will want to keep this man on if he possibly can. This man is one of the organisers in midfield. We saw that first try stem from his talent, and the concern there from the Warrington coach. Obviously passing instructions via the walkie-talkie to the bench.
The kick goes through here from Tommy Martin. Craig Mackey does everything right from a rugby point of view. Maybe not so for looking after himself in the kidney area, but he drops down and covers the ball with the whole of his body. As you say, Brian Johnson won't be keen to get this fella off. He wants him to stay on the field. He's the organiser and the captain.
Certainly taking the wind out of the former Hull and Illawarra player, and currently Warrington skipper. Warrington bringing the ball away. And I think that's a significant factor there, Joe, already. 75% to Warrington.
That's right. Warrington have been down in St Helens half for most of the game so far. But Saints in the last couple of minutes have come back strongly with the forwards. Some good, hard, straight running.
And some good, hard, strong forward play here. Difficult conditions, blustery wind. Up in midfield by David Lyon. Warrington certainly trying to keep St Helens in their own half. And Richard
in charge on the Warrington bench, Roy Lester. Roy, that's the first bit of pressure that you've seen from St Helens. You're still comfortable with it?
Well, we're never comfortable 5 minutes ago, but you know, we're getting good field positions, and as long as we keep doing that, keep St Helens in their half, then we're okay. You can never be satisfied, but at the moment we're going well.
An encouraging start.
Yeah, very encouraging. You know, as I say, we're doing the right thing. We're not making too many mistakes, and of course you can't afford to do that with St Helens. It's such a good side.
Thanks, Roy.
Phil Beaver stretching Warrington on that far side there. Bob Myler doing well just to pick up, save the line. Warrington played St Helens earlier this season in the league, winning by 17 points to 10. A section of the crowd there roaring for a forward pass there to Craig Teitzel, but not so, says referee Mr Smith. Mackey feeling better now, with a long punishing kick there that really gains some good ground. That's good kicking there from Greg Mackey. That's why he's so valuable, Joe.
That's right, not only his passing, his organisational skills, but the fact that he can turn a defence round and make the forwards jog back a full 30 metres there to the scrum.
Helens just with the slight advantage. Andy Haig, number 2. Chris Joint, Cooper, Beavers, looks for support and he finds it. To Paul Loughlin, an early ball. To Sullivan, he's just got Lee Penny to take on. Oh, he cut inside. He cut inside, perhaps missed the opportunity to go on the outside. But he has the penalty. And it's 10 minutes in the sin bin. 10 minutes in the sin bin there for David Elliott, and we're seeing now that directive from the Rugby League headquarters about lying on at the tackle, Joe.
That was classed as a professional foul. He was holding down, giving his teammates a chance to get back. The referee, rightly so, penalised him on 10 minutes in the sin bin.
So, Warrington now, a 10-minute spell with just 12 men, and St Helens piling on the pressure. George Mann loses the ball. And that is a very bad loss by St Helens there. They wanted to maintain the pressure. They needed to work through that set of 6. And that should be another 6 tackles, because Dwyer kicked through at the play of the ball. Oh, and Davis gets the ball away there to Isla. Good play. A head tackle there by Andy Haig, surely. It's penalised. The 19-year-old youngster going in a little high.
Yeah, Warrington not afraid here to let the ball go out, even on their own line. Good passing movement, which resulted in the penalty for a high tackle.
And that high tackle just shows you the damage that it can do in terms of territory. The kick takes St Helens right back to their own line. Warrington then in possession. Mackey now to Ellis. Ellis looks to try to prise away through that defence. Good tackling by Martin and Joint. Derbyshire, Cullen. Paul Cullen, that extra yard of pace in the pack. A centre 3/4 for 6 or 7 seasons in his early days here at Warrington. Mackey to Ellis, he looks for the forward. Teitzel comes rushing through. Saints, desperate defence here. Mackey again. The chip kick. Sullivan to the rescue. Greg Mackey back to full fitness now, I think.
Greg Mackey waiting and waiting here to see what the defence does. In the end, puts the kick through. It's all pressure though, it's all pressure on St Helens. Anthony Sullivan forced to kick it dead.
And Roland Phillips looking possibly to come on, but T's certainly in some difficulties, as Phil Vevers drops out to Lee Penny. Well, and Roland Phillips, the big Welshman from Neath, been in excellent form this season, but been out for 4 to 5 weeks with injury. Phillips straight into battle. Derbyshire, number 9, slotting into the acting half-back role. Teitzel. A stray pass. Picked up well by Shelford, and good backing there by Lee Penny. Confident play from Warrington to Davis. Out on the left. Touch.
Being treated on the Warrington bench, just taking treatment there. He's got a rib injury, nothing intentional about it. Somebody actually fell on Gary Tees on the pitch. He's obviously in some considerable pain, and he's now being wrapped up warmly in a tracksuit, Ray.
Warrington possession again. Kevin Ellis. Warrington won the last 8 cup and league matches. Derbyshire. The crowd not very happy with that. Thought there was a hint of obstruction, but Mr. Smith says to the Saints just to get back to 10 metres. Mackey again, combining with Ellis. To Shelford. Still manages to get the ball away to Cullen. The pressure relentless on St Helens. But perhaps Kevin Ellis took the wrong option there. Mackey looking for the options. The high kick. That's a difficult ball in this weather, but well taken there by Sullivan.
Did well Antistel there, kept his eye on the ball. As you say, with these blustery wind conditions, very hard to keep your eye on the ball and concentrate.
We've not seen too much kicking from St Helens, Joe.
Not really, but then again, Ray, they haven't had the ball long enough. You need, to set the platform to get 6 tackles and then put a kick in. But Warrington have had all the ball, all the possession, and it's the Warrington team that's been doing the kicking.
Dwyer, Beavers, Dwyer again. Tommy Martin. St Helens perhaps passing a little flat-footed there, not really going forward. Needs 1 or 2 big forwards to come onto this ball. Martin. Straight to Myler. And he loses it. Picked up well by Beavers. Phil Beavers, 10 years now at Nosey Road. Saints now opening out in good style. Rapati. Good long ball there to Laughlin. Sullivan. And as you were saying, Joe, Warrington really trying to play the game in St Helens half.
They are, but you see both sides making mistakes. 2 knock-ons. St Helens, a poor kick really out of defence, and then Warrington drop the ball. St Helens get it back and straight away lose the ball again.
Roland Phillips doing well to offload that ball. Davis, he's got speed on that outside. Oh, and it's Davis straight through. Was that a trip by Tommy Martin? He's protesting. I think there was an instinctive movement of the leg by the number 7 Tommy Martin. There it is. Davis goes down. And Tommy Martin, absolutely disgusted with himself, sent off. Any tripping in a game, automatic sending off under rugby league rules. And Mr. Smith, no hesitation whatsoever. That makes life difficult for St Helens now, Joe.
Very much so. Rules are rules, though. Jonathan Davis sliced through the defence there, sidestepped, and I think it was all that Tommy Martin could do to slow him down, to stop him. He flung the leg out, and as it says in the rule book, that's the sending off offence. Tommy Martin will be disgusted with himself, leaving his team now with 12 men.
Davis, his most difficult kick today, but it's a good one. It's his 3rd consecutive kick. Really repaying the gamble, and there's Tommy Martin, inconsolable.
He's made a few breaks, Jonathan, as he steps off his left foot this time. Tommy Martin was coming across, and it was arms and legs flying everywhere trying to stop him.
So Warrington 10, St Helens 0. 15 minutes remaining in this first half. Kevin Ellis.
On the St Helens bench with the assistant coach Frank Barrow. Frank, nothing's going right, is it?
Not at the moment. That was unfortunate, him getting sent off there. We just got to spread out a little bit more, and we're going to have to tackle a lot better and hit their pivot men. We're letting their pivot men run about.
Thank you, Frank.
Frank Barrow, I think, summing up there, the pivot men are running about. That's Mackey and Shelford and Ellis in midfield, controlling things, organising things in the middle here. And here we see what Frank Barra's saying. Mackey distributing that ball back to Shelford. Davis, Shelford again. Warrington keeping the ball moving. Davis. Ooh, that's a high one. David Lyons going for it. Oh, and he takes it very, very well. And he gets the ball out to Sullivan. But a good ankle tap by Jonathan Davis. Tremendous action here at Nosey Road. Both sides playing good rugby. And both sides opening the ball out at any opportunity, Joe.
That's right, they're not scared of the weather conditions at all. Both teams are throwing the ball about. That was a massive high kick there from Jonathan Davis. Dave Lyon did exceptionally well to keep his eye on the ball, take it, not only secure the ball, but then put Anthony Sullivan away down the wing.
Bernard Dwyer using the short side. It's a good effect. Pushes Warrington closer, and David Elliott, 10 minutes in the sin bin over, resumes action. Joe, you were saying to me before kick-off you wouldn't fancy playing full-back under this wind.
No, it's not the best of friends for a full-back if the wind's blustering like it is today. It's blowing across the field and it makes the ball move about in the air on its way down. It's very difficult to judge whereabouts the ball's going to come.
Warrington using the wings, Myler to come in field and perhaps gain an extra yard that a forward wouldn't. Another high tackle. Again by George Mann. That's another of the directives that has been given out by the Rugby League headquarters this week. High tackle, any high tackle above the neck, whether intentional or unintentional, it's a penalty. A decent touch finder there from Davis. And Roland Phillips. Oh, nice snip pass from Phillips. And the same from Ellis to Derbyshire. Knock on. Well, I think Kevin Ellis is protesting that he actually put the ball down and kicked it forward. He seemed to do so, Joe.
He did it. You can play the ball in any direction and at the play of the ball. Actually, he's given the penalty for the markers not being straight. It's a penalty to Warrington.
Well, he's now given a penalty against St Helens for double marker, for the markers not being one behind the other. And Davis, sensibly in this very, very strong wind, having a shot at goal from his own half. Jonathan Davis helped witness to the Regal Trophy 2 years ago against Leeds. He scored 11 points in that final. Already has 6 here. A strong crosswind, just slightly changing and blowing slightly in Warrington's favour now. If he can get the height on this ball, then he might float it between the uprights. No, doesn't. Phil Beavers to Andy Haig. Good run from this youngster. Just 19 years of age, former British Amateur Rugby League tourist. Bernard Dwyer trying to put some life into St Helens, looking for support. Doesn't find it. Chris Joint. Cooper, Sonny Nichol. Cooper again, Tia Rapati. Rapati has been out some weeks with Achilles tendon and hamstring injuries. The fifth tackler, St Helens, electing to run. Cooper moved the ball out, but Penny taking care of George Mann's kick. Interesting to see Shane Cooper moving the ball out there, Joe.
Yeah, Shane's been quiet for the first 20 minutes of the game. He's not really been involved. We've seen the Warrington players dominate, likes of Mackey and Ellis. And if St Helens are to come back into the game, then it's players like Shane Cooper need to take a grip of things.
Sonny Nicol. 2 bites of the cherry, but he catches it. The party. Wigan, of course, the holders of this Regal trophy, defeating Bradford Northern last season. George Mann, he's found space and he's found Phil Beavers, and Chris Joint almost through, but a good tackle there by Kelly Shelford. A Saint on the attack. Bernard Dwyer diving for the line, but weight of numbers there. 4 tacklers from Warrington. Joint to Cooper, to Mann again, beginning to make the breaks. Chris Joint, Dannett. But of course, let's not forget St Helens a man short. Tommy Martin sent off for the trip on Davis. Difficult to create an overlap. Shane Cooper. Picked up by Kevin Ellis. Good play by Kevin Ellis, as we saw with Greg Mackey earlier. Warrington dropping a half-back behind the line to cover for those little chip and grubber kicks. Foster. Elliott. Having a good season this second row. Mackey. Phillips. Big man, this former Welsh Rugby Union player, number 15, Roland Phillips. Shelford. Well taken by Haig. There's been some good catching, Joe, under these difficult conditions.
But as this wind is a problem. But I don't think that was the best of kicks there. I think it would have been much better if the Warrington team would have turned St Helens round and put a deeper kick in. Once again, to put that pressure on St Helens.
Warrington, of course, still leading by 10 points to 0. Dannett. Coming from deep onto the ball. Prop Andy Dannett. Bernard Dwyer to Cooper. Cooper looking for support, but it's not quite there. The centre was missing. He's there now, number 4, Paul Lachlan. Rapati. Straight back, out to play. The ball out on the full. Handed over now to Warrington. I wonder how many instructions are passed via the walkie-talkie with the physiotherapist these days, Joe. You should know.
Some people say too many. Certainly at Wigan it seems to be every 5 minutes they're on with the field with instructions, but it does help the team.
They certainly seem to drink gallons and gallons of water these days.
Well, you know, we have these dietitians and the coaches and the physios, and everybody says now that you must, you know, try and put your fluid levels back up while you're playing.
Ellis. Sonny Nicol standing no messing from the former Bridge End halfback. Elliott. Derbyshire. 2 switches, elects to go himself, but I think a sensible decision there from referee Smith. Crossing, using the 2 men in front of him to gain an advantage.
Paul Darwish, a little bit of lack of experience there, not used to the half-back role. Didn't know which way to go, ended up causing an obstruction and a penalty to St Helens.
Five minutes remaining in this half. George Mann. Dwyer. Still this Warrington defence holds. They've certainly done a lot of work on that this season. One of the best defences in the First Division. A sliding defence, moving across.
It's made easier here too when you have an extra man.
David Lyon taking a chance there, passing the ball without really looking at who was receiving it. Paul Derbyshire coming away. Mackey, Teitzel. Plenty of problems for Saints Kiwi coach Mike McLennan there, watching from the security of the boardroom. Mackey, as ever, bringing the forwards. David Elliott, Kevin Ellis. These two half-backs, Joe, bringing forwards onto the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, Warrington are playing the better football. They're playing safety first, keeping hold of the ball.
Jonathan Davis. A penalty again. Interfered with again. Pushed according to Mr. Smith. And really very, very silly on St Helens' part, Joe.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis is causing problems every time he gets the ball. I think all the points have resulted from something that Jonathan's done, either been fouled or tripped or put somebody through a gap, and you know that it obviously shows the respect that the St Helens have for him by trying to impede his running.
And St Helens' Sonny Nicol, I think, the man being accused of the push. And when you're a man down, as St Helens are, with Tommy Martin dismissed from the field, you can't afford rushes of blood to the head like that. Jonathan Davis, just 5 years in the game and already on his way towards 1,600 points. And there's another 2 points towards them. For Warrington, just 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
You see on the replay Jonathan Davis just chipping over there after the ball had left his boots, and it'll just give him that little bit of a push to put him off. That was enough for a penalty and enough for 2 points too.
And I think the point is, Joe, if St Helens players had stayed where they were, then Davis has to run round them, because you're under no obligation to move, are you?
That's right. You can stand your ground and make the player go around you. But I think St Little was just a little bit frightened there that he was going to get to the ball and just give him that little bit of a push.
So Viva's down with a knock to the face, but play continuing. Elliott. Certainly looks shaky. Phil Vivas, St Helens centre. And sensible play from Warrington. Forward pass. But sensible play from Warrington, moving the ball to that left side.
Most of the breaks from Warrington have come down that left side. They spotted the gap again there. The referees decided it was just marginally forward.
That's professionalism, isn't it, though, Joe? When you see that centre down, you know there's a gap there, you get the ball there, don't you?
That's right. They've had, Tommy Martin sent off St Helens, and Warrington know there's going to be a gap somewhere if they can move the ball about.
Paul Loughlin. Well tackled by Kelly Shelford. Chris Joynt. Saints looking to 1 or 2 breaks from this Great Britain second row joint, and perhaps his partner Sonny Nicol. Here is Nicol, but he loses the ball. No need to tell him, he knows.
Ball security is so very, very important, especially when you're a man down. Sonny Nicol, I don't know if he took an eye off the ball or whether it was knocked out of his hands, but they really have to try and keep hold of this ball and try and play out 6 tackles and put a little bit of pressure on Warrington.
Mark Forster and Roland Phillips, a bigger man, a more powerful run. It's taken him some time to settle in rugby league, this number 15, but he's doing well now, Joe.
Yeah, the whole of the season. I mean, I know he's been out with injuries for a couple of weeks prior to this game, but certainly at the start of the season, strong runs like that were his mark.
Teitzel. Typical Australian forward, likes to receive the ball at first receiver, straight in. Davis. Sullivan. Trying, I think, to inject a little pace in that St Helens three-quarter line, a little variety. One or two of the St Helens players complaining about the Warrington side lying on at the play of the ball. And there is the hooter. That's the half-time hooter. Plenty of action, Joe.
It's been a good half. It's been a great half for Warrington. Obviously, with the loss of a man for St Helens has been a problem. But Warrington have played a better football, more consistent.
Well, Warrington in the lead, 12 points to nil, but I think in the second half that dismissal of Tommy Martin, that could be the crucial factor that this game wears on. St Helens nil, Warrington 12. Yes, back here to Knowsley Road. The wind perhaps dying down a little and the pitch drying out a little, but this was the try, Joe, in the 8th minute.
Right from the start, really, Warrington have dominated, and this just goes to prove it. It was Greg Mackey there sprinting through, nice sidestep and laid it inside. And Kelly Shelford, you'll not stop him so close to the line like that.
Good understanding from this Warrington side in midfield, exhibited by that try. Clive Griffiths and Brian Johnson must be delighted by that, but of course Mike McLennan, Saints coach, will not be delighted by this. The trip by Tommy Martin, Davis held in action, and of course the resultant dismissal. And the longer it goes on, Joe, that will be a problem for Saints, won't it?
Yeah, you know, teams tire anyway, but with the man down, defence obviously is the key, and they're going to struggle the later the game goes.
And the Warrington possession time there of 18 minutes to St Helens 8 really does indicate that half-time score. Davis, the goal kicker, and the crowd sheltering under the enclosure. Play on, says Mr. Smith. Looked like a knock-on, but not according to the referee. Mark Foster. St Helens then with plenty to do in the next 40 minutes. Trailing and numerically one man down. Warrington, 4 times winners of this Regal Trophy, and once again St Helens being penalised, this time Tiro Party for holding down at the tackle. Here's an example.
It's a very fine line, Ray. You've got to, you know, all teams hold down just to give the defensive line that time to organise themselves, and you've got to just get it right. If you hold on just too long, then the result is a penalty.
It's very difficult for a referee to decide, is it? You know, was in fact the Warrington player there, Paul Cullen, playing to the referee?
I think everybody does it. Is it professionalism? You know, if you can get a penalty off the opposition, then they'll try anything to do it.
And some talking in the dressing rooms at half-time. The message from Brian Johnson to the Warrington players was to keep tackling the big St Helens forwards. That's where they think the threat might come from. They think they've done it successfully in the first half. They think they've kept Joint, they think they've kept Dallett and Nicol fairly quiet. St Helens, on the other hand, well, Frank Barrow says Mike McLennan has told the players to open it up as much as they can and to keep the ball moving.
And Warrington are keeping this ball moving via Kelly Shelford. Teitzel makes the half break, gets it to Elliott, but good tackling just brings him down there by David Lyon and Chris Joint. Warrington started out as they did in the first half. Davis attempt to drop, well covered by St Helens defence. Rapati and Cooper got there, hustled Davis out of it, and it's St Helens ball with Andy Dannett.
Yeah, both Shane Cooper and Tirapati knew that Jonathan Davis was going to try the 1-point drop goal, and as you say, rushed him just to put him off enough to miss it.
Obviously a set ploy there from Warrington, and no doubt coach Brian Johnson has told Davis to have a go whenever they get into that Saints 20-metre area. Rapati. Warrington, of course, can afford to move the ball around. They have the extra man. St Helens possibly playing more of a forward game. Difficult for them to create the overlap. Perhaps need the break in midfield. George Mann. Dwyer did well to pick it up and get the ball to Cooper. Cooper runs back into trouble. Rapati tries the high ball on Lee Penny. Oh, and a good sidestep from Lee Penny. This youngster, this Great Britain under-21s player, former Oral St James amateur. Paul Cullen at the opposite end of the timescale. 13 seasons at Warrington. Forster. Teitzel loses the ball and annoyed with himself, but he's worked hard this afternoon, this number 10. Paul Laughlin coming in from that blind side. 15 stone, looking to punch a way through. Warrington done well to hold on to that ball, just 3 handling errors. And a penalty again for crossing against Warrington. David Lyon. And fight and enthusiasm needed from this Warrington side now to hold out St Helens. Saints desperate to get some points now, Joe.
They are desperate, but I think it might be a good point if the coach, Mike McLennan, was to bring on Jonathan Griffiths off the bench. They seem to be missing that link from the forwards to the backs, and I think that would be a good time now to bring him on.
Yes, he's a strong man, isn't he, Welshman on the bench. Laughlin has a go himself. Saints now just 3 metres from this line. To Rapati. He's got Beavers, Laughlin, Hayes going for that line. Oh, he's just pushed into touch there, the youngster. The sight of the line, just couldn't get there.
St Helens moved the ball across the line well here. Warrington are using the slide defence, just pushing the men towards the touchline. And as the ball goes out wide, Jonathan Davis is coming across just enough to put that foot in touch before the ball's put down. Excellent cover tackling.
Rob Myler. And Mark Forster. Good play there by the Warrington wings, giving the forwards a little rest and using that extra yard of pace to get themselves away from the 20-metre area. Elliott now. Picked up by Beavers. Keeps up pressure on St Helens. And penalty there, surely. I think it will be against Teitzel. The big Aussie prop.
A little bit of frustration there by Teitzel, I think. Having lost the ball.
Judge Mr Glover spotted it on the blind side.
Yeah, he comes in here. Warrington have lost the ball. Maybe they thought they should have had a penalty for taking the ball out.
Teitzel to be spoken to by Mr Smith. He acknowledges. Phil Beavers a little shaken. And David Lyon looking to boost Saints' confidence with 2 points. Lyon played for Warrington in the Regal Trophy success against Bradford 2 seasons ago, and he helped himself to 4 goals that day. Now he needs to turn the tables on his old club. 27 metres out, just to the right of the posts. Not the best of kicks to the right. So St Helens still looking for the first points of the afternoon. Warrington 12, St Helens 0.
Dale will be upset with himself for missing this one. St Helens have applied a bit of pressure in the last 10 minutes. Unfortunately not to get the try in the corner, and then that penalty, they really should have come away with some points.
Jonathan Davis with the drop, kept the ball low, looking for distance, picked up well by Sonny Nicol. Needs a big effort from this St Helens pack. Haig. Good tackle there by Paul Derbyshire, number 9 for Warrington. Dwyer. And that just shows how well Saints have come back in this second half. Good display from the 12 men of St Helens. Cooper, Rapati, Lachlan, Vivers. He has Lyon with him on that gap. But a good cover tackle by Jonathan Davis. The 5th tackle. Paul Cullen did well there. That's the 3rd occasion we've seen St Helens use the grubber kick in this game, Joe, and it's 3 times we've seen Warrington pick it off easily.
Yeah, it's good skills from the Warrington defence. They're picking the ball up. Paul Cullen that time, off his toes, saving the day really. But St Helens have been playing better football. They've been, keeping the control of the ball. But it's okay having possession. You have to put some points on when you're trailing by 12 points. You have to get some points on quickly.
And you have to take a few risks, don't you?
Well, they have to do that now, yes, and also with one man down, it makes everything that little bit harder.
And youngster there, Colin Hodkinson, warming up. Jonathan Davis again, looking to reassert Warrington's position down near that St Helens line. But a good retrieval and run by David Lyon. Paul Lachlan. And Colin Hodkinson, youngster, just 19 years of age. Warrington Alliance team player, a regular hooker. So we might see a switch in the pack.
He's come on for Greg Mackey, actually. I think that the knock that Greg took early on in his kidneys may just be troubling too much to carry on in the game. But I think you might see Paul Derbyshire switch now, as you say, from the hooker position, and let Colin Hodkinson take over the number 9 spot.
Cooper, Sonny Nicol. This St Helens pack now beginning to assert itself here in the second half. David Lyon. Perfectly judged kick there from David Lyon. Keeps the pressure on Warrington, but of course Warrington have that cushion of 12 points.
With Greg Mackey on the Warrington bench, Greg, Saints are coming back fired up the second half, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they've got to be. They're down 12-0, so if they don't start throwing that ball around like they're well known for, they're not going to win. So they're giving it all their shot, the 12 men.
And you're sitting here because of the injury in the first half.
Yeah, unfortunate, but that's the way it goes.
Thanks, Greg.
Hodkinson to Derbyshire. An indication there of the pressure on St Helens, and of course 12 men doing the tackling for the past half hour. Kelly Shelford. Picked up well by Haig. Chris Joynes.
Warrington struggling just a little bit to get out of their own half. I think Kelly Shelford would have been a lot better then to put that ball back to Jonathan Davis for the longer kick.
Beavers to Haig. Not doing much wrong. Andy Haig on the right wing here for St Helens. Cooper now to Dannett. St Helens controlling this ball better in midfield now. George Mann. Good burst by George Mann to the corner. Not much success though. In touch. But that's the sort of break that St Helens need in the midfield.
Yeah, you mentioned that, you know, they had to take the chances and they had to try something a little bit different. George Mann makes the break, throws a speculative pass out to Anthony Sullivan. He just can't get to it.
Hodkinson with the head guard. And Paul Cullen, the second row, getting through a lot of work there, bringing the ball away at first and second receiver. But St Helens tackling now, much fiercer. Dannett and Nickel working in. Teitzel. And the loss of Greg Mackey certainly having an effect in midfield. Just not that cohesion at the moment from Warrington, Joe.
Yeah, we saw it, you know, obviously when Tony Martin went off for St Helens. When you lose a half-back in a key position like that, then it does tend to impede you a little bit with your connection from backs to forwards.
Andy Haig again, receiving a lot of the ball down here. And there's the extent of Greg Mackey's injury. Can only watch lying down, obviously in considerable pain around the kidneys and the small of the back. Chris Joyce. A huge success in the Test series against New Zealand. Cooper, Dannett. But still this Warrington defence holds. Cooper looking to the blind side now, switching players best he can. Sensible kick through there by Sullivan. He knew he couldn't take that ball, but picked up well by Lee Penny. And a penalty against Tirapati. Use of a short forearm on Penny's face, I think.
Anthony Sullivan there couldn't catch the ball, decided to put it to the boot instead. Foot race to the line. Lee Penny comes across, did exceptionally well here, behind his own line, makes it secure, and then brings the ball out.
Jonathan Griffiths warming up there. And Tirapati being called out by Mr. Smith for that tackle. Mr. Smith just saying to Rapati that he doesn't want any more leaning on there. And again, St Helens can't keep incurring these penalties. Time ticking away. Warrington leading by 12 points to 0. Phillips. And here we see Tirapati in that tackle. And there it is, the right forearm.
It's just frustration, Ray. You don't need that kind of thing, especially you're a man down, you're 12 points down. The penalty is the last thing you want to give.
Elliott. Gutsy run from Elliott, but picked up by St Helens. Kevin Ellis couldn't quite take the ball. Sonny Nickel now. Paul Loughlin helping the forwards out. He's 15 stone, this big 6'3" centre. St Helens need him in the middle. Chris Joynt. Cooper. George Mann. Dannett. The fifth tackle. Dwyer having to run. Joynt. The kick. That ball still loose, but not now. It's in touch. And a Welshman from Llanelli, Jonathan Griffiths, ready to come on, and Paul Loughlin to come off. Becomes something of a utility back, Jonathan Griffiths, normally been a scrum half, a half back. Coach Mike McLennan used him as a standoff, as a centre, and as a scrum half, and occasionally as a loose forward. And the blood bin, Craig Teitzel coming off to have attention. Looks just from the corner of his right eye. Play continuing. Kelly Shelford. And a penalty again for this line on the play. Well, St Helens have really been penalised by this, haven't they?
The referees, as you said, determined to clean it up. And every time that St Helens have done anything slightly wrong with the play of the ball, then they've been penalised for it. Wanting to get the chance to come away from the roll line again.
And pain or no pain, skipper Greg Mackey's had to return to the field with the loss of Teitzel.
I think you have to be impressed, Ray, with Warrington's defence throughout this game. There's not many teams that can keep St Helens scoreless. I don't know if they can sustain it, but it's certainly been a superb task to do so far.
Paul Derbyshire. And there is the extent of that damaged eye, the cut, the Vaseline stopping the bleeding. I should think Coach Brian Johnson, do you think he'll be in a quandary? Does he bring Teitzel on, or does he keep Greg Mackey on even though he's in some considerable pain?
No, I think as soon as Teitzel's fit to come back on the field, you'll see him reappear, because Mackey is struggling. Even now he's holding his lower back, and I think the sooner he can get him off the field, the better.
Cooper. Jonathan Griffiths. To Rapati. Now that was a penalty, surely. It is against Jonathan Davis, and the kick is taken very, very quickly. That's a sign of how desperate St Helens are for points. Here we see the incident. Jonathan Davis interfering with Rapati. But once again, Joe, St Helens losing the ball.
That's unforgivable, really. They need desperately to get down here to put some pressure on Warrington, hopefully come away some points. They get a chance through a penalty, and then St Little drops the ball. They've been annoyed with themselves over that.
And Teitzel back into the fray. Greg Mackey now back on the bench. 61 minutes gone, 12 points to 0 for Warrington. Roland Phillips invariably takes 2 or 3 St Helens tacklers to put this big Welshman down. Ellis to Elliott.
I think you see Davis here put another long kick downfield. Has to step first.
And David Lyon promptly drops that long kick. A knock-on greeted rapturously by the Warrington fans, because they know from this scrum it's head and ball for Warrington.
You don't see that very often. Dave Lyon's usually one of the most secure people under a high ball. took his eye off it for a second, and back under pressure St Helens are.
He has been out injured for some weeks with a medial knee ligaments, possibly just not adjusted to the pace of the game yet. But it's Warrington now on the attack. Kelly Shelford edging nearer. 5 metres from this St Helens line now. The short pass to Roland Phillips, but a good tackle there from Sonny Nicol, knocked the big Welshman back. Ellis looking to find the overlap. Shelford again brings it to Derbyshire. Plenty of options for this Warrington side, with an extra player marching off the field for St Helens. Teitzel held up in the tackle, the 5th tackle. Shelford having a drop, not successful.
It's worth the attempt though, Ray. With the scoreboard, 12 points up in Warrington's favour and the time ticking away, one extra point would have been a good idea.
As you say, Joe, it's a very, very long time since St Helens last were sort of nilled at this stage on their own ground. I mean, they are renowned for high scoring, aren't they?
That's right. I can't remember the last time it was done. When St Helens do get the game together, they can destroy any team, as was proven when they really gave it to Bradford only a couple of weeks ago. 54 points.
But still 17 minutes remaining, and plenty of time for either side still to clinch this 3rd round Regal trophy. St Helens now moving it well. George Mann, Nicol to Joints, but Kelly Shelford there for Warrington, moving up relentlessly. Bernard Dwyer puts pressure down that short side. Excellent run from Dwyer. He's got Shane Cooper with him. Andy Dannett, he gets the ball away to Shane Cooper. Oh, Shane Cooper scored! A smile on Adam Fogarty's face. And we were just saying that it's a long time since Helens had been nilled. They answered us immediately, and it was the skipper himself, Shane Cooper. Superb handling down that short side, all started by Bernard Dwyer and finished off by the Kiwi Cooper.
Bernard Dwyer goes back to the half-back here, makes a lovely break, shows a lot of pace really. Shane Cooper inside. I thought actually they'd take the wrong option here by dropping Andy Dannett, I think it was, back inside. Good tackle by the full-back, but he throws the ball back and the support there. Shane Cooper picks it up, just makes it to the line.
Yes, Dannett pounds in well picked up by Shane Cooper, and not just pace here but strength. He's held, but he forces his way over and just hits the whitewash. So St Helens now back in contention, and David Lyon with the wind behind him. He'll be looking to swing this ball around just outside that 20-metre area. Not an easy kick. So, St Helens 4, Warrington 12.
Excellent break from Bernard Dwyer. Spots the gap. Shane Cooper on his inside. As I said, I thought this was the wrong option, but Andy Dannett managed to get the ball away. And that's strength out from Shane Cooper to just get over and stretch over for the line for the try.
And Adam Fogarty, ex-Halifax forward, on the field there for Andy Dannett, ex-Hull player. And Jonathan Davis is obviously looking for distance as he puts that kick right downfield, but it comes off Haig's boot. Oh, and that's bad luck for St Helens. It's picked up by Warrington. Paul Cullen, Hodkinson to Roland Phillips, and Warrington now eager to hit back after that try. A stroke of bad luck there for Haig. Ellis, Teitzel misses it out. Davis picks it up. Hodkinson, Derbyshire. Adam Fogarty, number 15, straight into the tackle. Ellis trying to pick up Roland Phillips, does do so. And the 5th tackle.
Will they look for the drop goal again?
Move it left. Haig in trouble. Just gets the ball away. St Helens now quick into the tap using Adam Fogarty. Signed from Halifax earlier this season, former boxer. Chris Joint. And it really needs one or two of these St Helens forwards to work overtime in the middle here to break down this tight Warrington defence. Nickel. St Helens, Joe, beginning to make play from the acting half-back position.
I think the Warrington side's turned a little bit. They have defended excellently during the game, but as you said, St Helens started to make those few breaks around the acting half-back area. Maybe possibly with Mackie going on.
We are back to 6 more tackles here. The ball touched by Warrington. Griffiths now across the field to Georgie Mann. Mann almost through, but well held again there by Teitzel. Fogarty coming away from that acting half-back position. St Helens making real ground now. Dwyer, there's another one from that play the ball. Metre short now of the Warrington line. Tremendous fight back here from St Helens with 12 men. The 5th tackle. Saints surely have got to move this ball out wide. They do to Cooper. It goes behind him. Back to Beavers. A high kick. Beavers underneath it himself. To Sonny Nicol. Oh, Georgeman loses the ball. The chance was there. He had Anthony Sullivan outside him. But the knock on.
Desperation still. Phil Beavers follows up his own kick. Sonny Nicol manages to get the ball away. Hits Georgeman in the face.
Chris Rudd, not had a lot to do this afternoon, but when he has, confidently he has. And the possession in this half for Warrington, but the territorial advantage to St Helens. They've made the better use of it.
I think we'll see Warrington now just settle the ball down, use a few drives up the middle of the field, and then look to Davis to put the long kick down the field.
Ten minutes remaining then. St Helens still with plenty to do, trailing by 12 points to 4. Trapped effectively this time by Haig. Rapati. Cooper. Dwyer. Back to Cooper. Griffiths. Good third ball out there to Nicol, but he couldn't hold it. And neither can Rob Myler. For a penalty. A penalty. Mr. Glover, the touch judge, waving his yellow flag. It's Rob Myler who's down on the floor. And Sonny Nicol, is he looking the guilty party?
It's Rob Myler that covered the drop, but the kick through. Sonny Nicol comes in and drops on him with all his weight. And believe me, Rob Myler will know about that tomorrow morning when he wakes up.
Well, it seemed to me as if Nicol was just coming into the tackle there, just to keep Rob Myler down, but obviously there's been a contact made facially to Rob Myler, and the referee, Mr. Smith, is having a word with Sonny Nicol. He says that the ball was loose on the floor, when he came in and fouled him.
Rob Myler seems all right now. He's taking his position up on the wing. With the ball being on the floor there and Rob Myler dropping on it though, Sonny Little I think really was in the right to follow it up and make the tackle. I think the referee just decided that it was just a little bit too much roughness.
Davis puts the ball to touch, and that will suit Warrington because they will just try to hold this ball for the 6 tackles. They're playing for time now. 7 minutes remaining. Warrington in the lead. Roland Phillips being put down. Teitzel. Paul Cullen. And of course Warrington always have the option of the drop goal attempt. They have the luxury of the lead. Elliott. Using Phillips again. The big man shrugs off a couple. Proved effective at first and second receiver. The 5th tackle coming back to Davis. Perfectly positioned, but once again Shane Cooper, St Helens skipper, dashes up very, very quickly. Puts Davis off, and it's no drop goal. Jonathan Griffiths. Fogarty. Griffiths again to Mann. Mann always looked a dangerous forward for St Helens. Mann, Cooper. Sullivan out on that wing there. But a good tackle by Myler, but still St Helens moving this ball. Cooper to Mann. Mann, the long pass to Rapati. Fogarty, St Helens keeping this ball moving. Over the interception by Paul Cullen. Now then, he's trying to get it to Rob Myler. He can't do so. But what a good effort there from Paul Cullen to have the strength, the energy and the wind to do that at this stage, Joe.
Well, with foresight, maybe we better keep an hold of this ball, but the scoring chance was there and you can't fault him for trying. Tries to loop the pass around here.
Pass from Jonathan Griffiths. St Helens now trying everything. Chris Joint. Just 4 minutes remaining. This Warrington defence still holding, but St Helens throwing everything into the attack. Fogarty. Griffiths. Rapati, well taken by Rapati. Low down below the knees. 5 metres from this Warrington line. Griffiths again, what a good impact he's had since he came on. George Mann going for the line. His hand on his back. A metre short. Desperate defence by Warrington. And I think Mann has hurt himself. It's the 5th tackle. Yes, George Mann's having difficulty playing this ball. But Mr Smith wants the ball played by Fogarty. Cooper, Griffiths, Jonathan Davis, the loose ball, and it's Jonathan Davis chasing all the way between himself and Haig. Haig does well to get back, but Rob Myler gets there, and it's a try for Rob Myler at the end there. The kick and the chase by Jonathan Davis. Andy Haig did well to keep with Davis, but that try by Myler surely taking Warrington through this tightest of Regal Trophy third rounds.
is unbelievable. From one end of the field to the other, St Helens pressing on the Warrington line. The loose ball, Jonathan Davies kicks ahead. It's a race. As you say, Haig does it exceptionally well just to get back with him. Bob Myler's on hand to pick up and score what is a simple try, but one that surely clinches this game for Warrington.
Certainly a good kick and chase there from Davies. Is there a hint that Myler's elbow might have been touching goal, Joe, here at the end?
It's hard to see from that angle.
Jonathan Davies, the player who took advantage of that slip, and George Mann being carried down the tunnel. Well, we knew he was in some considerable pain when he went for that try. He was held on his back. He may have strained some back muscles there. And Davies from the touchline. Into the wind. And it's the wind that takes it just to the left of the post. But Warrington now 16 points to 4 in the lead. Remaining, and St Helens, tremendous effort in this second half with 12 men, possibly coming to nothing, Joe.
Yeah, that try came really from Warrington's defence. They stopped George Mann on their own line, Warrington, with the punishing tackling, and Jonathan Davies kicks ahead. O'Malley picking up. Now, did he go out before he put it down? I'm not quite sure.
It certainly looks debatable, but nevertheless, as they say, read it in the papers tomorrow morning, Joe, don't they? Mark Forster. Paul Cullen had a good, gutsy game in this Warrington second row. Ellis to Shelford. Jonathan Davies just wanting now to put pressure on that St Helens line to keep the Saints pegged down here. Not really bothered whether he found touch or what happened to the ball, as long as it went a considerable distance. Tira Party opening out to Haig. Into injury time now. Cooper. Fogarty. Back to Cooper, picked up well by Bernard Dwyer, and sends the party racing through. He's got Sonny Nicol on his left-hand side. Now Sonny Nicol has plenty of pace and power, and he's successful. He gets over the line. Excellent try again. Superb reply from St Helens, but I fear too late for those St Helens supporters. Nicol had the pace and the power to finish off the try. Good support play by this Great Britain second row.
It must be too late really for St Helens, but it just shows that this side will never give up. They'll fight to the death. Closing minutes. Tira Party going through there, and Sonny Nicol with Lee Penny to beat. Penny tries his best, but the strength of Sonny Nicol takes him over the line.
And it's Bernard Dwyer. He has kicked a few goals in the past, but not this time, I'm afraid. And here we see good play by Rapati, very similar to that burst earlier on by Shelford and Mackey for Warrington. And then the pass to Nicol. Lee Penny does very, very well here, but it's the strength of the Great Britain second row that carries him through.
the try again here coming through, Tiro Forte. Jonathan Davis coming across there, did well. Pushing Lee Penny out to made the tackle, but the strength's just too much for him.
Jonathan Davis again, a long kick, hoping to get the Warrington forwards up very, very quickly, and they are into injury time. And Warrington have confirmed their fine league form, top of the championship. I think they'll have very few fears of the quarter-final draw when it takes place on Monday morning. Griffiths. Into 3 minutes of injury time now. We've had plenty of stoppages, of course, for injuries. St Helens on the attack again. Phil Vevers, the ball knocked out of his grasp and picked up by Warrington. Penny helping out. Roland Phillips. Another good block-busting run by this Welshman. Coming under the ball from depth. And a contented Warrington coach, Brian Johnson. Cullen. Never puts up the white flag in the second row, Paul Cullen. To Jonathan Davis. David Lyon retrieves the ball well. Shane Cooper knows he has to try to do something with this ball. Well, it's too late. Warrington the winners. And the Warrington fans who've come here today, braved the cold, the wind and the rain, delighted by this performance from the league leaders. They took St Helens on up front in the pack in the opening 40 minutes. And they've won the battle behind with point scorers of Shelford and Davis. But a good win for Warrington, 16 points to 8.